Talofa, I'm Cherelle. I'm from Samoa and I'm here with Frida and the Pacific Young Women's Leadership Alliance.
So why did you want to attend the PFF?
I'm a really passionate feminist and this is the first ever of its kind, and I was just really excited to be part of a historical movement, really.
So being part of this historical movement, what were you looking forward to when you were thinking about coming to PFF?
I was looking forward to networking, to meeting new people in the movement, and also learning. I think learning is a really big thing for me coming from Samoa, where we have no feminist organizations and we have very few organizations for women and young women. So I wanted to learn from the experiences of more experienced feminists within the women's movement and how I can take that home with me and maybe try and implement some of those.
Okay. So you said you're from Samoa.
Yeah.
What was it like, logistically coming to be able to come to PFF, and what challenges were you having to overcome to come here?
I don't think there were any logistical challenges per se, just because it's a direct flight and I had applied. I was actually recommended to apply, and the application process was fairly smooth, so I don't think I had any problems in that area.
Okay. So it's now towards the end of day 2. What stood out for you from the PFF from day 1 to now? Anything in particular?
Yeah, so what stood out to me was the Girls Matter session yesterday, which was completely run by young women from the girls program, which is a FWRM initiative, as I'm sure you know. And I just was so inspired by their confidence, the way they held themselves, the way they spoke and engaged with the group of people in the session. It was really inspiring, and I just pray and hope that one day I can have a program like that in my country.
Okay, so maybe kind of sticking with that, is that something that you look forward to discussing with other, or have you already discussed that with the participants here at PFF, the Girls Matter, and how they've been able to have such a successful program?
Yes, that's definitely something that I've been picking people's brains about, especially the young women that were part of the program. How did it work for them? And also some of the mentors, what were some of the challenges they faced in setting it up. It's something that I'm really excited to take back home and start talking to women in my community about potentially setting up something like that.
Okay, so now we're going to move to around the bigger issues, PFF. So you're from Samoa, you're a young, passionate feminist, and what are the issues that you're interested in Samoa, and how is that portrayed in the public media, in mainstream media?
Okay, so I'll focus on 2. So one is violence against women, which is very prevalent in Samoa and throughout the Pacific. I think that's with UN Women in Samoa, that's been portrayed in a quite positive light. They've had really successful Orange Day campaigns, which they hold on the 25th of every month, and it's really become a community engagement. Like, the community has really taken ownership over this issue, and it's not so taboo anymore. Like, people are actively engaging in advocating for this issue. Even our rugby team is starting to advocate for this issue. So I think it's moving forward in a very progressive pace. One of the not so well addressed issues is SRHR, as we've talked about within the forum. I think it's an issue that needs to be addressed, but it's difficult just because of the conservativeness of our cultures and traditions. But we do have the Samoa Family Health Planning Clinic, and they are slowly making moves towards addressing that, and also the Ministry of Women is trying to address that, but I think we need more NGOs in that space.
And how is the media portraying issues of SRHR and violence against women?
Right, so the media is portraying, there's a lot of media coverage on activism around ending violence against women and gender-based violence. So I think media coverage in that sense has been good. Not so much on SRHR. I don't think that's being addressed at all, or being addressed in a limited capacity in the media.
So now we'll just move on to the theme of the 16 days campaign, which is from peace in the home to peace in the world. So for you as a young woman, what does peace mean to you? How do you define it?
Peace to me is a world where love and kindness hold power over discrimination and injustice.
Nice. All right, so now we're going to talk about young women and their inclusion, participation in decision making. What does that look like for you, again, as a young woman from Samoa? How are young women able to engage in that process?
Right. Well, I think in the Pacific, it's very rare for young women to be included in decision-making processes. Women in general, it's very rare for them to be included in decision-making processes. Our society is very patriarchal. I think one of the ways of addressing that is programs, campaigns like the Girls Matter campaign, where they empower, girls from a very young age, and they grow up believing that they are part of the decision-making process, and that is their right. I think campaigns like those are really great at attacking the issue from, a very young age.
And is that one of the particular barriers in Samoa, for example? I mean, you were saying earlier you want to maybe start something like that up in Samoa. Is that something that you feel is needed?
Yes, absolutely. I think there are gender roles that are taught to young boys and girls from a very young age that prevent them from believing that they have the right to be part of decision-making roles.